like that.
What sparked this decision?
What sparked the decision was, you know, over the years, in the last 10 years, and I'm sure you know this, I've been kind of a vocal critic of issues in Nigeria. I've been a vocal critic of bad governance. I've been a vocal critic of young people and trying to motivate young people to say, we must participate in the affairs of our nation. But I realized that for the most part, most of us just stop at talking.
Yeah.
And just talking about the problem is no longer enough. If we see that these things need to be fixed, some of us have to be willing to stick our necks out and get involved in the system in order to fix it. And I mean not just from a presidential level. I mean, it's great that there are alternatives running for president, but I wish some of those alternatives were running for Senate or the House of Reps or even the state houses of assembly. We need to infiltrate government in the National Assembly. Nigeria's problems over the years have been top down, but I believe the real solution is from the bottom up. I feel like, you know, thank you. I feel like first of all, to win the presidency of Nigeria, you need 25% of the vote in 2/3 of the state.
Yep.
Now, as a generation, we don't have the structure or the wealth or the might to really pull that off. But we can start community by community and get one seat in each community and start putting good people of like minds in the National Assembly. You put enough people of like minds, it doesn't even matter who the president is at that point, because you can make wholesale changes throughout the country if you have good people in the House of Reps, in the Senate, in the state houses of assembly. And unfortunately for us, we've never really paid attention to this. As a generation, most of us don't even know who our representatives are. I spoke at a church, and there were 3,000 people sitting in the audience. And I said, guys, please, if you know who your rep is in your constituency, please raise your hand. Baba, now 5 hands I see. In an audience of 3,000 people. And I mean, it's funny, but the truth is, that's the problem. We complain about the system being bad, but we don't even know who we're allowing into the system. We're not holding them accountable for the roles they hold. So why wouldn't the system be bad? We don't even know who our reps are. Talk less of what's your salary, what's your allowance, what's your constituency allocation, what have you done with it all of this time? So part of what we're trying to do is to inspire our generation to say, pay attention to who is running for your rep. Pay attention, pay attention to who is leading and representing your community. And that's how we fix Nigeria. We fix Nigeria by fixing one community at a time.
Good point, good point, good point.
And let me just say this. People don't realize how possible this thing is. And that's partly what we're trying to prove. Etiosa Federal House of Reps in 2015. There were 250-something thousand eligible voters. Do you know how many people bothered to vote for House of Reps? 56K. Do you know how many votes it took to win this seat in 2015? 28,000 votes only. So are you trying to tell me that we can't find 50,000 young people, 50,000, it doesn't even matter age, 50,000 people that think that, you know what, let us start here. We can get this thing done. And when we do it, it will be the rallying point for young, credible Nigeria to spring forth. 2023, I want us to put 40 good legislators in the National Assembly. That's the goal.
Yeah, you said INEC misspelled your name.
Yeah.
And there was this error about... You use this opportunity to talk about it again. What actually happened?
So here's the thing. I mean, I need to pick my words carefully because I don't want to create unnecessary enemies. But the ballot, I mean, the logo that is going to show on the ballot papers is not the official MDP logo. Okay. It's an unfortunate situation.
For those, I mean, we are reaching out to people now.
Yeah.
So what is the official MDP logo?
So the official MDP logo is a logo with the ladder. It's this one, actually, the one that's on my head. Okay. Unfortunately, after campaigning for 2.5 months and telling everybody, follow the ladder, follow the ladder, we now found out that the ladder is not even there. Oh. It's now not a ladder, it's a rising sun. Now, where obviously that's not going to be the MDP logo going forward, but because the elections, right now our eyes are on the finish line. So we can't, you know, there's no time to cry over spilt milk. It is what it is. We've tried to see if they can reprint the ballot papers, and they've said that that process has too far gone.
I mean, on election day, what will be on the ballot is party logo.
Yeah.
So somebody goes there to look for the ladder.
The good news is this time, it's not just going to be the logo, but the full name of the party and the party acronym. So you will see Modern Democratic Party, you will see MDP, and then you'll see the logo of the Rising Sun. So that's why even with the jingle that Cobhams did and everything that we're doing now is driving the name of the party Baba, please, can you repeat the name? Just make sure I don't want to know.
Modern Democratic Party is here.
Okay.
If I fail it,
because I tested you before the interview and you were stuck
right in front of me now. Okay. Okay, people, you see how we are rolling here. Don't even go anywhere. I know our correspondents are looking around the corner waiting to pounce. So you don't go, it's the other news and you're still there. Yeah, later on in the show, our persistently vexing correspondent, Dan the Humorous, gets up to his usual tricks. But for now, I'm having a fascinating conversation with Mr. Capable himself. So, Banky, I'm sure you heard what Brimo said about musicians who go into politics. He said they are thieves.
Really?
Yeah, that they are thieves.
I missed that.
That they are thieves. Musicians who go into politics. Yeah, so what is your reaction?
So here's my reaction. My reaction is that until now, most of the people, and you know, I don't like making absolute statements that everybody is bad, because not everybody is bad. But I can see why he would say that, because we've seen over decades that a lot of the people who enter public office are entering for selfish interest. They're entering to see what they can get out of the system, as opposed to entering for the intentions of working for the community. Yeah. Government is public service. If you are in government, you are the #1 servant in the community. That's the job. The job is to serve. The job is to help. The job is to empower. The job is to fix. That's the job. But we've turned it into the reverse, where we use government to say, Your Excellency, Honorable, Baba, anything for the boys. And then they go into office, they milk the system dry for 4 years, and then in election time, they come and hand out peanuts. So I can understand why he says that. But here's the thing.
You're saying basically he's entitled to his opinion.
He isn't. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. And I understand why people have these kinds of opinions, because they've been disenfranchised and frustrated by what they've seen. Now, the problem is, if we all have this mindset, and if we all stay away from that, then it will forever be dirty and dangerous. It will forever be bad. It will forever be filled with thieves, because all the good people just want to do this. We just want to sit back and say, hey, it's bad. Point fingers, criticize. How about you get up? If you know that you can do the job, get up and do it. Get up and put yourself up.
Because they say society suffers when good men don't act.
Thank you. They also say, Plato said, the punishment for not getting involved in politics is that you'll end up being ruled by your inferiors. And in Nigeria, we can extrapolate that to say, you'll end up being ruled by thieves, or by people who have selfish interests, or by corrupt people, or by people who don't even have the intellectual capacity. You have people running for office who should be in jail or in exile.
True.
Like, you know, that's the reality. So when do the good people say, okay, it's time for us to now enter this same system? And that time has to be now.
It has to be now.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do for the people of Ethiopia that hasn't been done?
Okay. First of all, I think that something that has to be on the agenda for every representative in this country is transparency and accountability. Okay. What I mean by that is this. We have members of the House of Reps who most people in the community are not even paying attention to who they are. Talk less of saying, what are you doing with this office? So we're going to lead by example. We're going to change the standards by living to higher standards. So when I get in, I'm going in as a torchlight to say, guys, this is the salary, this is the allowance, this is the allocation given to Etiosa. This is how we plan to use it. I'm going to run an active constituency office, which every rep should have. We're going to have periodical town halls where we will sit with the community and discuss ideas, listen to the problems, and present plans to fix them. This has to be what is going on now is that the reps, because nobody knows who they are, some of them are just using it to enrich their pockets, to enrich themselves and the people around them, and nobody's saying, okay, this allocation that was given to you, what did you do? What did you fix in the community? Yes. Who did you empower? Yeah. That's the job.
Let's stop talking about Ethiopia. I know you have a lot to talk about Ethiopia. Okay. Nigeria generally. Yeah. I keep asking politicians this question. If you had to fix one thing about this country, what would that thing be? Okay,
so the thing that I think would help the country as a whole, but it's not a job that a rep can do alone.
No, I'm not talking about what a rep can do.
So just in general in the country?
But reps, you know,
light. Light. Has to be light.
Oh, light.
Has to be electricity.
Let there be light as
has
no
to
light
be,
here.
if you, the president, and this is a challenge to the people running for president, the administration that fixes electricity will immediately become the greatest administration in the history of Nigeria.
True.
So let's get it done. Let's get it done.
In fact, let alone, I would say, let's just do 1 point agenda for any government coming in. Now, just do light.
Just do light.
Leave every other thing, do light.
You know.
Anyway, it's time to play our trivia game.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, just so that we end on a fun note. Okay?
Okay.
So I just